Heli Direct! What's going on, everybody? Jeff West here with Heli Direct, and today we have the all-new SAB RAW 420 in the matte orange and blue color scheme. So we got the new kit in, and this is the setup we are going to be running. The Hobbywing 80 amp ESC, torque 508s on cyclic and 0604T on tail, torque mini servo grommets for the tail servo, and we have the SAB XT60 battery mount. So we're gonna get this thing opened up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's see this new color scheme. So the main difference with this 420 and the other 420s is the color scheme. They went back to a traditional matte color scheme. It is a matte orange and blue. The blue is very bright. The matte orange is extremely bright. Doesn't come through in camera, but in person, that orange is fluorescent. Got the matte orange tail boom and then the orange decals. So we're gonna get started on the build. So we are assembling the head, and here is a tip that I have found when assembling the head. So you have all your thrust bearings laid out here. So you have your smaller ID, your thrust bearing, your larger ID, your main shim. And then there's these two little shims right here. And they come in the bag, which is 13-4. There's 4 of them. What I have found is if you add 1 shim per side to the head block before sliding your blade grips on, it gives you a much tighter head assembly. If you want it to be a little looser, then leave these 2 shims here out, put it together and see how you like it. I have found that 1 on each side is the perfect head tightness and dampening. So now we're gonna get our head all put together. We got all of our thrust bearings greased up. So now let's get it all assembled. Here is a little tip for you guys. If you have a hard time assembling your linkages, or you just don't like to assemble them because they can be a pain. So on these, there is a little insert there. If you look, this is a 0.9 millimeter driver into a drill on a low setting, very soft. Put your end of your threaded rod right onto your driver bit here, just like that. It fits in there. Then you can go on slow, drill all of your threads just till about halfway. And then that way, when you screw these together, they fit really nice, very simple. They turn in and out, and you don't have to worry about one side getting in farther than the other side because they will be perfectly matched. So just a simple little easy way to do it. And you can see here what those torque grommets do. They basically just fill the space and make sure that your servo screws and your servos are perfectly centered. You can use the little carbon fiber plates that come with it if you would like, but the servo grommets are inexpensive and a great way to make sure your servo is perfectly centered in the mount. We got our head fully on, assembled, our swash plate, our linkages on. One thing I wanted to touch on, we are also using the SAB motor guards. So if you want to get those, they just give a nice finished look and they help protect your motor from side impact. We are using the recommended SAB servo arms on all of our cyclic as well as our tail. One thing to note is if you want to use the regular servo horns, not a big deal, but just know that the thickness is different. So if you use these, make sure when the threads come out the backside, you put a nut on it. So that way you don't have to worry about them pulling out because you can see a big thickness difference there. I put a nut on my other one and it's been like that for hundreds and hundreds of flights. So now we're gonna get the boom on it and get this thing finished up. Our tail is built. Just remember when building your tail, after it is together, make sure everything is nice and smooth. There's no grittiness, no tight spots. That way you have a proper tail and you will not have any gain issues or chasing any issues with the setup of the tail. Tail boom is on, belt is tensioned, and here's another little tip for you guys. 3-in-1 silicone oil. Put a little bit inside that rubber boot right here when you're sliding your boom in and out for tensioning, and it allows it to slide easily. And then if you have to take your boom back off, you don't have to worry about it being hung up or getting stuck. Another thing here, your belt tension, you want that tensioner to do its job. So when that belt is fully tensioned down, you want to be able to move the tensioner and that belt move. You don't want it so tight that when you move the tensioner, the belt does not move. All right, that's done. Let's get it all wired up, get the FPL mounted, and see what it looks like in all of its glory. It is all built, wired, and ready for the blades and canopy. So you can kind of see here how I did all my wiring. ESC on the bottom to our XT60 mount. I moved my mount back a little bit so that way there's more room here for our battery wires. So now I'm going to get the blades tossed on this thing, get the canopy on it, and we can see it all finished up. We definitely had to come outside to see this thing in all of its glory. That orange pops. The camera does not do it justice. SAB nailed this color scheme. They did such a great job. It is extremely bright, and it's gonna have really good visibility in the air. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Take care and have a great day. Heli Direct!